Race 17 out of 24 today here on Heats Day. It's time for Minimax Heat number 5, Groups A and D. Here's your starting grid. So Maxime Becker will have Nikita Nikishov alongside. Denny Babacek will be joined by Albert Friend on row number 2. Carlos Nees and Marcel Zebo, row 3. Ryan Rivers and Kenzo Craigie, row 4, with James Roberts and Casper Nissen completing the top 10. Jireleva, Noah Barham, Majas Mazinas, Patrikas Jokius, Daniel Minto, Dimitri Matrenin, Prokhor Sokultsev, Jens Themunen, Gleb Solovov, Jakob Assam and Joachim Otterson, rounding out the 21-strong grid. So we are 11 degrees air temperature. We apparently feels in single digits at the moment. Sunset due in 35 minutes time, which means the Minimax drivers will probably be the ones that will have the most light on the circuit, and will be at that crossover point for juniors. So the drivers have carried out their sighting lap. They are now onto their formation lap. And for these two groups, it is the last of their 3 heats for the day. So, the penultimate Minimax heats of the 2022 Rotax Max Challenge Euro Trophy now officially under starters' orders. Drivers make their way through the 12th and final turn at this circuit. Into the tram lines we go, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Minimax Heat 5 underway. Becker gets a good start. Babacek looking up the inside of Nikishov as they hurtle their way through into turn 2 for the opening time. And Denny Babacek keeping in second. Marcel Zebo gets a little assist from behind that allows Albie Friend to get through. And I think that is Kenzo Craigie looking around the outside of the 191 from Strawberry Racing, and that was through turn 6. And if Kenzo Craigie has pulled that move off, I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. He's dropped a little bit further back, but an absolute melee of Minimax drivers going through turn 7 into the chicane off of the Europolan. Marcel Zebo has got someone round to the outside. That was Nikita Nikishov, I believe. Maxime Becker has seen the biggest gap he's wanted to see all day long. Albert Friend is in second. Denny Babacek, Nikita Nikishov, Marcel Zebo, I believe, rounds out the top 5 as they come across the line to complete the opening lap. One driver bobbing up and down in their seats, and that was probably more than likely Casper Nissen. As all, bit of a touch between him and Kenzo Craigie. That nearly could have caused major dramas right there. But they both managed to keep a hold of their respective carts. And all more dramas going into turn 6. James Roberts, I think, was going up the inside. That was the case. Kenzo Craigie got a bit of a fright. This is not getting easy at all out there for these youngsters, because they know that this is the last opportunity to get through. And there's been a moment, and there's been a hard hit into the side of one of the Sodi carts. And that was James Roberts who got hit in the side pod. That was by one of the Praga chassis. We've also had a time penalty issued. 123 of Ryan Rivers 3-second time penalty for two wheels outside of the tram lines. Denny Babacek looking up the inside of Albi Friend. Nikita Nikishov not too far adrift. Oh, bumping over the curbs. That was Casper Nissen. Hangs on to it. The skin of the race suit, so to speak. And oh, another move up the inside. Casper Nissen is trying to do everything he can do to get past, and through goes Noah Barham from Great Britain in the 134. So Barham running on the Lando Norris kart chassis, Lando Norris chassis running under the Dan Holland Racing awning. Incredibly close between quite a few of these drivers, and it's not over yet. Oh my goodness, who was that? That was more than likely. That was someone on a Praga chassis, and if that was Casper Nissen, that was a send and a half right there. Looks like Noah Barham's regained that place in the meantime. Denny Babacek waiting in the wings to see if Albi Friend opens the door. Not quite yet. It was Casper Nissen who sent that from an absolute country kilometre back. So 3 minutes and 38 seconds still to go. Denny Babacek gets past by Nikita Nikishov, the 11-year-old from Artola Estepona. Now ahead, Denny Babacek, 10 years of age, from Vrakov. A little bit further back, Epsom's very own Kenzo Craigie is battling away tooth and nail. That will be with more than likely Barham, I believe. But look at now the darkness. Well, the transition from daytime to nighttime is starting now, because the floodlights are being switched on. I've seen the one just outside of Marshall Post 7 off of turn 12, and now the infield. So progressively these floodlights will come on, and then that brings the dynamic of the Golden Trophy into full prominence. At the minute, I think got past Dimitri Matrenin for a place. That would have been for 11th position. Still got just over 2 minutes and 20 to go. Second, third and fourth coming out of turn 9, a line astern. And Nikita Nikishov trying to put the pressure on Albert Friend going through turn 10. Kenzo Craigie battling away with Marcel Zibo from Hungary. But at the moment, Maxime Becker's lead is close to 3 seconds. Second, third and fourth cross the line. Gap now 3.1. Maxime Becker has also put in the fastest lap of the race, because the three behind are squabbling. Come on, guys, work together and catch up with Maxime Becker. You're letting him get away with that kind of gap. It's a 59.509 second lap time for Maxime Becker. Closest one to that is Denny Babacek with a 59.549. 90 seconds to go. Oh, bit of a drama there. That was for, more than likely, that was one of the Nies racing carts. That was Carlos Nies, who was fighting at the sharper end of the grid in his previous heats, but in heat 3, it doesn't seem to be going that well for the youngster. 9-year-old based out of Alzenau. .65 seconds on the clock remains as the battle between second, third and fourth continues onward. Nikita Nikishov between a UK and a Czech Republic sandwich at the moment. Kenzo Craigie keeping a hold of that 5th place, and now Nikishov pulls the trigger. Up the inside goes the Spaniard on the Briton about the Brit Albi Friend. Now Albi Friend trying to look up the inside. Does he get through on turn 5? No, he doesn't. Denny Babacek nearly could have lined that up for turn 6. It was a bit close there for Albert Friend to try and go through on that particular occasion, but he has to hold back, wait for his chance. So Maxime Becker will very shortly be coming out of turn number 11, which he does now with 12 seconds on the clock remaining. 5-second time penalty going to driver number 152 on this particular occasion. Jokius from Lithuania. As with about 2 seconds to go, Maxime Becker crosses the line. So we've got this and an additional lap. We're on to lap 8 out of 9. Nikita Nikishov. And it was the 152 of Patrikas Jokius gets a 5-second time penalty for pushing. Timer has expired. We're now on to the penultimate lap. Lap 8 out of 9. And Albie Friend trying to look to see if he can get past Nikita Nikishov from Spain for that second position. But he's got to watch out because Denny Babacek could strike at a moment's notice. Albert Friend looked to the inside, then decided to go defensive on the 140. So this time, in a few seconds, as second, third and fourth make their way down to turn number 10. Maxime Becker very shortly will see the sign that he's wanted to see all day, bless him. It's going to be the last lap board. So Maxime Becker goes on to the 9th and final lap, but still second, third and fourth are battling away. Nikita Nikishov ahead of Albert Friend. Going on to the final lap, into turns 1 and 2 they go. Do the trio. A little bit further back, I think Kenzo Craigie has just lost out to Marcel Zebo through turn 2. And Kenzo Craigie might have just got back in front. He has. So these three make their way out of turn 6 for the final time. Albert Friend looking to see where Denny Babacek is, because he might have to settle for third place and not try and push and move up the inside unless Nikishov opens the door. Race leader now coming through turn number 10 as second, third and fourth. Oh, a bit snaky on the front. The front end snap to the left for Nikishov. But Maxime Becker, pole position award winner last night, is now finally going to take a race victory here on Heats Day. And he celebrates. Maxime Becker takes the win by a country mile ahead of, it's going to be Albert Friend. The winning margin, 5 seconds. Albert Friend takes second position by a margin of 74 thousandths of a second ahead of Nikita Nikishov, with Denny Babacek rounding out the top 4 positions after that race. So Kenzo Craigie managing to retake 5th position ahead of Marcel Zebo, but Maxime Becker now becomes the 5th different winner in as many heats. What's even more interesting, folks, Denny Babacek won heat number 3. In the next heat, we've got Henry Domain, Mats van Rooyen, and Boris Maximov. So there is going to be one driver that's going to take home 2 wins. But Maxime Becker wins by just over 5 seconds ahead of Albert Friend, who pipped Nikita Nikishov by 74 thousandths of a second after the end of that 9-lap adventure. Nikita Nikishov rounding out the top 3. Denny Babacek in 4th place ahead of Kenzo Craigie, Marcel Zebo, Casper Nissen, Noah Barham, Majus Mazinas, and Daniel Minto, who now has been promoted to P10. Dmitry Matrenin, Prokor Sokolotsev, Yuri Leva, Jent Thimunen, James Roberts, Patrikas Jokius, Gleb Solovov, Jakub Assam, and I've just seen that Carlos Nees is going to drop back another 5 seconds. So there are a couple of pushing penalties coming in. Ryan Rivers at the back end of the field. So looking back at the penultimate race for the Minimax on Heats Day, heat number 5. Things got underway at the start, and Maxime Becker led the field going in to turn number 1 and turn 2, despite having to wrestle with the steering wheel as all as Sundry were doing so. Denny Babacek managed to get through on Nikita Nikishov. And we had this little moment, and it was Carlos Nees that instigated the incident that turned around James Roberts, and then the 162 of Jakub Assam from Austria had nowhere to go. So James Roberts not having a great run there. Whilst Maxime Becker pulled away, the battle for second, third and fourth really was on, and there was a bit of a stranglehold on that for Nikita Nikishov initially, as Albert Friend managed to try and get through. The pair clashed. It nearly allowed Denny Babacek to get through turns 3 and 4. And nice little move there from Albie Friend, but Maxime Becker celebrating with both hands off the wheel. The 155, our pole sitter from yesterday, takes the victory.